An issue with my son's pint. We've been running the quart system, battery quart system in the pint for since March. It's now May 24th, and about a week ago, last Wednesday, I went to pick up my son like I normally do. On our way home, his pint kept cutting out on him. He'd be going maybe 50 feet, cut off, red light flashing. That's when we pulled out the app and we saw a error code 22. Now, knowing that I replaced the battery with the quart back in March, I know that there's a hardware change, but it's become a safety issue now, right? Anyway, he had a error 22, and I know I changed the battery in it. It's been working perfectly fine. We're able to use the voltage meters. It's been great. We haven't had any issues until the other day, out of nowhere. So I had some suggestions about disconnecting the app from the board and trying it to see if it works. Tried that several times. Fully charged the battery, made sure the app was not connected, and the board continues not to only shut down, but it resets. Like, it turns simple stop off or on, and it I think it's still in Pacific mode, which I think is the default mode, but then the error just continues to persist. So right now, right here, what I'm going to be doing is, unfortunately, until I can find a fix, I'm going to be swapping the battery out back to the original stock pint battery. Which this battery it's still good. I mean, it's a few years old. It's almost 3 years old. And it has the range that a pint has. And so we were just trying to increase that. And the thing that really upsets me about the whole thing is Future Motion. They're real big on promoting, safety. And I'm fine with an error code saying, hey, you have, unofficial hardware on here. That's fine. What I have a problem with, though, because the board is smart enough to know that someone's on the board. I mean, it tells you how fast you're going. It can detect tilting forwards or backwards for acceleration or braking. It can even detect if you're leaning toe side or heel side. So it knows someone's on the board, yet it cuts the board off, okay? The board's smart enough to know, hey, someone's on here, but there's this unusual hardware that I don't know what it is. And instead of cutting off, why can't it be programmed to just do like a low battery pushback? When your battery's low, it gently brings you to a stop and drops the tail down. Why is it cutting the board off during acceleration? That it really upsets me, because my son did fall down, and he scraped his knee, ruined a pair of his pants, and then the second time he fell, he scraped his elbow. And it's very frustrating, because my son's a very proficient rider. He's been riding this will be his third summer riding now, I believe. 2020 is a second full summer riding. I guess this will be his third summer. Anyway, he's a very proficient rider. He's very careful. He's smart. He knows the board really well. He loves his pint. And the fact that it just completely disengaged on him, to no fault of him, because, in the quest for safety, as Future Motion would put it, the board cut off on him because we've put a third-party battery in it. It's very frustrating. I love the one wheel. And Future Motion has offered great support. I have a one wheel GT that I did have issues with the front sensor pad, and they sent me another one out. I've had good experiences with Future Motion, but you know, my son getting hurt really just kind of changes my perspective on things. I mean, I'm all about safety, and I just don't understand how that's safety. The software is smart, the board is smart. You know, you want to pop the error code on there, fine, tell me error code 22, that's great. But you cannot mess with my board. You cannot disconnect my board. I own this board. I've owned it for, it'll be 3 years this September. I'm outside of warranty. So anything I do with this board is it's my call. Oh, here comes the cat again. It's my call. If I want to change the battery, I should be able to change the battery. Like I said, I've had the board for almost 3 years. The battery being swapped itself has not been a danger. It has not caused any problems. What's caused the problem is the error code. The error code that disengages the board. That's the danger. That is Future Motion's programming. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm going to be putting the stock battery back in here. Not by choice, but because if my son wants to ride his pint, because Future Motion deems it unsafe to swap out my battery with a larger battery that has been perfectly safe and perfectly fine up until the error code that Future Motion has programmed into the board cut it off. All right, looks like I've run into another issue. It's going to be hard to see, but I'm going to take this apart. I can hear the nut off of the power button rattling around in the controller board, so I'm going to now have to take that apart and get that nut put back on and maybe try to put some Loctite on it or something to keep it from slipping around. So that's what I'm working on now. Alright, let's take a look at what we can see here. Alright, and there is the loose nut right there. Oh, that it looks like that piece is actually completely broken. Yeah, looks like the black threading here is completely broken. And that is smacking around on the Bluetooth connection. Is it possible that that could have been causing the error? Outside of warranty, so there's nothing I could have done anyway, but that's an issue. Because that is actually broken. It is still threaded on. But that is actually broken. So I'm going to take the nut out. It's a metal nut, which is much heavier than the plastic that's on there. You know what? This makes me wonder if this is the actual issue here, causing it to do a code 22 error. I wonder if that's a possibility. I need to call up my SLS boys, see if that could cause the issue. But we're going to see if this fixes the issue.